Everyone says, just start. But what if your nervous system won't let you? So maybe you've heard it 1,000 times. Just start with the one thing. Just do 10 minutes. Just start with making your bed. And you want to, but you stand in your kitchen and you freeze. Your brain feels foggy. Everything feels urgent and impossible at the same time, and you don't know where to begin. So you plop down and you start scrolling on your phone instead. And then the shame spiral starts. Everyone else can. Just start. Why can't I? But here's the truth they don't tell you. Here's what no one is saying. The Just Start advice is built for neurotypical brains. But if you have ADHD, PTSD, or C-PTSD, anxiety, or maybe if you're just chronically overwhelmed, your nervous system is stuck in survival mode. And when your nervous system is dysregulated, your brain literally can't prioritize, sequence tasks, access information or motivation, or tolerate sensory overload, or make decisions. This isn't laziness. This is not a character flaw. It's just biology. You're not failing at just starting. Your body is trying to protect you from what feels like a threat. So here's what actually works instead. So if just start doesn't work for you, what will? What does? You don't need motivation. You need regulation first. So here's what actually works. Step 1, ground your body before you try to do anything. Take 3 deep breaths. Put your feet flat on the floor. Touch something warm. Something cold works as well. Say a simple prayer. Jesus, steady me. This tells your brain we're safe. We don't need to panic. Step 2 is to simplify the task to something insanely small. Not clean the kitchen. Just maybe spend 5 minutes doing some things in the kitchen. Maybe put the dishes in the dishwasher. Not do the laundry. Maybe just move the load of laundry to the dryer, or move it from the dryer to the bed or the folding area. Not make dinner. Maybe just get the first few steps, like get the chicken out of the freezer. Sometimes your brain can't handle really big tasks when it's overwhelmed, but it can handle tiny ones. So step 3, slow your pace. Fast movement tells your body there's danger, and slow movement tells your body it's safe. So try to move a few paces slower, like 10% slower maybe, than you think you need to. I promise. This changes everything.
That we don't always take into consideration is our caffeine intake. I love coffee, but I have been trying to limit myself and switch over to healthier coffee substitute options like mushroom coffee blends and dandy blend, and I found that this helps a lot. Another tip that I have is to reduce visual noise before you start a project. So in the morning, our kitchen is usually not in the best of shape. I go to bed before the rest of my family because I get up way earlier than anybody in the house. So the family puts the kitchen to bed, so to speak, and I have checklists for them, and they do a pretty good job, but it's not always, to mama's standards of clean. So there's usually some putzing around to do, and I find that if I walk into a space with a job to do and it's a cluttered mess, I'm more stressed out and triggered as I'm trying to get the project done. So reducing visual clutter helps me. It helps me with that. So just kind of getting the counters cleared off, get the last little bit of dishes stacked. Basically, you're not aiming for perfection, just essentially less visual input. Another tip that I have is to anchor yourself with repeating tasks that you never have to think about. So essentially what that means is, for example, making the same cup of coffee or tea every morning, having simple breakfasts or meals that you rotate instead of different things you're constantly trying all the time, having a certain day of the week for a certain person's laundry, little things like that. We have all kinds in our house, and they really make all the difference in the world. Basically just repeating kind of like safe tasks in a routine, a built-in routine that don't change. And that way we don't have to really think about it. It's just what we do and it's automatic. Okay, now this one might seem a little funny to you, but it's to narrate what you're doing out loud. So when your thoughts are spinning, externalizing your thoughts can actually help your brain organize. And we always joke about the people in the family, right, who talk to themselves. But I actually had a kid who, when he was little, he would do this. And it was quite funny. He would be sitting at the table and he would say, "I am chewing my food. I am swallowing." So I know it sounds kind of funny, but if you kind of talk to yourself about what you're doing as you're doing it, if your mind is spinning, it really helps to kind of ground your body in the present moment and reduce overwhelm. You're basically gently guiding yourself through, not commanding yourself.
The trees, they are singing to the tune of a song, and the wind is gently ringing the bell that brings the morning, the welcome of the dawn. The voice of the
I'm going to give you a bonus tip. This is actually a tip from my brand new course, Beauty from Ashes, and it is a course, a homemaking course for women specifically that are chronically overwhelmed, have ADHD, PTSD, or C-PTSD. And it's to, whenever you make meals, make a few extra meals for those off days when you're just feeling frozen, like you don't know where to start.
in the early morning light, all are happy to be out in the ending of the night, welcome of the dawn.
And another tip, release the need for perfection and finishing everything to the degree we think it needs finishing. So a lot of times our nervous systems will freeze because they feel trapped by completion and perfection. So if we can give ourselves some permission to maybe stop early or take a break at least and pause and breathe, even if it's not quite done. I know that for some of us, we have a lot of projects going. Basically, there's a balance that we do need. If we are constantly agitated and kind of a nervous wreck, we need to know when it's okay to pause and stop for a while, even if the project is not done yet. And number 8, end with gratitude. So as you're wrapping something up or as you are finishing one task and before you move on to the next, take a breath and thank God for the small step you took. Look back at the work that you did and take note of it. It teaches your nervous system that effort does not end in punishment or exhaustion. It ends in safety. And this is how we start to rebuild trust. So a gentle recap to carry with you. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. If you're having trouble just starting, it's not because you're lazy, unmotivated, failing, or lacking in character. It's because your nervous system needs a little care before it can offer capacity. So here's the rhythm to remember. Ground first so your body knows it's safe. Simplify until the task feels almost too small to matter. Slow down so your system doesn't interpret movement as danger. Reduce visual noise to lower your sensory overload. Anchor to safe, repeatable tasks that will help you build up trust over time. Narrate and release completion, reminding yourself you're allowed to pause. And end with regulation, not pressure or self-criticism. Healing homemaking doesn't start with better systems necessarily. It starts with grace and compassion for how God designed your body to protect you. And when you work with your body instead of against it, starting does become possible, one gentle step at a time. You're not behind, you're not broken, you are learning how to live and work from a place of safety.
So here's a word for the mama who has been struggling. Listen, mama, if you've been struggling with this for years, if you feel like everyone else has it figured out except for you, if you're tired of systems that don't work for your brain, I created something specifically for you. It's called Beauty from Ashes. It's a mini course for overwhelmed homemakers with ADHD, PTSD, and chronic mental overload. Inside, you will learn why your brain works the way it does and how to work with it, how trauma shows up in your homemaking, how to release shame and perfectionism at the root, and biblical truths that anchor your identity in Christ, not your productivity. You'll learn practical strategies to regulate your nervous system while you homemake, how to build rhythms that support your healing, not trigger overwhelm. Okay, this isn't about trying harder. This is about healing from the inside out. And this course is only $67. If you're ready to stop feeling like a failure every single day, the link is in my bio. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You're not behind. You're just a woman with a real nervous system, a real history, and a real body. And God specializes in creating beauty from ashes. Isaiah 61:3 says, He gives us beauty for ashes, oil of joy for mourning, and garments of praise for the spirit of heaviness. That's not just a promise for someday, that is a promise for today. Your home can become a place of healing. And it starts with understanding that just start was never going to be enough. You need support, you need tools, you need compassion. And that's exactly what I'm here to give you.